Hey, everybody, what's up? Listen, you know the deal. Hit like and subscribe, turn on your notifications, and let's get after it. Hi, hello, and welcome to your favorite Average to Good podcast. Call it what you want. I'm Jimmy Conrad alongside Charlie Davies and Tony Miola, and we have an incredible show for you today. We have a very special guest joining us here very shortly. We're going to talk about the U.S. men's national team, Mauricio Pochettino's one-year anniversary, all that good stuff. But Chuck, our special guest, Ivan Rakitic. I mean, this is next level. I can't wait to bring him on. This was your get. How excited are you to get Ivan on the show?
Well, Ivan is one of the best midfielders of our generation, right? And to play in a World Cup final, to win a Champions League final, to win a Europa League final. Think about this. You win a Europa League final? No, twice, but you win a Europa League final to the next year saying, hey, we're going to level up. I'm going to win a Champions League final. Think about that.
Yeah.
And then to play in a World Cup final as well. So an incredible talent, and I can't wait to hear some of his stories.
He's ticked every box, Big Tones. How excited are you?
Yeah, so let's get him on, man. This guy's done everything. We got to talk to him and figure it all out.
Let's get it. We let's bring Ivan Rakitic onto the show. Welcome into Call It What You Want. Great to see you. Okay, so Ivan, I have to go through your CV a little bit because you started at Basel, then you went to Germany to play for Schalke when they were still good, with all due respect to Schalke, playing in the Champions League. Then you went to Sevilla, you won a Europa League, then went to Barcelona, you won 4 La Liga titles, 4 Copa del Reys, you won the UEFA Super Cup, the Spanish Super Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, the Champions League. It's ridiculous what you've accomplished. We haven't even got into your national team where you got to a World Cup final in 2018. What's the proudest moment you would say of your career?
First of all, guys, it's a pleasure to be here with you. Really, it's amazing. The show is really spectacular, so really happy to be here with you guys. And just to catch up one moment, it's a bit difficult, you know. As you told, I think it's an amazing career that I could enjoy during this close to 20 years. But to pick maybe some points out, of course, my first game with my national team was really special. My first goal with Basel, my first big title with Sevilla. After that, with Barca. So there was really many special points, but of course, the World Cup final is something different. And I think even we was able to show the whole world where really Croatia is and what we really can do. So this was really an amazing experience. So I had an amazing career. I'm really proud and happy for it.
Yeah, now you're doing some work, obviously, as the technical director. I want to get to that at Hajduk Split, but you mentioned 2018. I was at that World Cup calling it. I watched you guys live. I called 2 games. I always felt like, Ivan, that Croatia, a team that was always punching above its weight, right? A small country who always looked like they had something to prove and did it in such an elegant way. I was always curious. Did you guys feel that? I know there's a sense of pride in the nation and all of that, but did you feel like, okay, we're going to show the rest of the world? Yeah, we're small, maybe in numbers, but maybe not so much on the football pitch.
You know what happened? There was something really different before we went to, for example, to the World Cup 2014 in Brazil. There was all around us nothing special. You know, you could feel we are there, but there was not this special feeling, you know. But when we did this preparation for Russia 2018, we had a friendly game in Liverpool against Brazil. We lost that game, but there already you could see that there is something. There is something. I also maybe in this friendly game, I saw the Brazilian guys with a lot of respect, and I told to some guys, I think that this tournament, this World Cup could be something different. We have to go step by step, of course. But I think there was this feeling to say this team can get something. And I think this was really important because there was 22, 23 guys fighting for only one ball. That was really crazy. And we were together more than 1.5 months, but it passed like 2 days, you know, and this was really important for us. And there, I think that we get really, really strong together.
Ivan, it's always great to see you. You look like you just came off the playing field. You still look fit, so that's nice. I'm curious, over your international career, you've had a number of managers with the Croatian national team. How would you say Zlatko Dalic is different than the previous 4 that you had? And I think I'm really interested in the relationship that you built with Dalic and how he managed your squad in general.
I think first of all, for me to be a national coach, you have to be like a mental coach for me, because to train a national team is different to train a club, to have a daily work. I think it's quite different, because like this we have 5 appointments every year. We have maybe 10 games and that's it, So you have to be like a mental coach, and there was Zlatko really strong. He had these qualities to get to all of us, So there was, of course, in every sport was maybe 24 or 5 guys, but there was around 50 players, and all of us, we were ready to do everything for him. So he was able to put all these guys in one button together, And I think this is the biggest quality Zlatko really have. And I think there is maybe when I started with Slaven Bilic, and he was really close to him, really mentally really strong, to pushing each other. And Zlatko is special also because he has a special love to Croatia, to our people, to our religion and everything. And he was able to put all this together without egos, without thinking about I have to be better than the other. So we get really close together, and I think this was this biggest quality Zlatko have.
All right, so Ivan, listen, you have a country in Croatia that's about 3.5 million total people. Over here in the States, we have about 100 times as many people, like 350 million. We got a lot. So really what we want to get to is, what are the secrets? What was Croatia doing to build this incredible foundation to get to a World Cup final and then be 3rd place in 2022? So you backed up that type of success in consecutive cycles. We need all your secrets, Ivan, because we have a lot of people over.
Jimmy, you the coach? I have time now.
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you what, Ivan, what's crazy to me is in 2010, you didn't qualify. You didn't qualify for World Cup. And then next thing you know, it's you get one World Cup under your belt, and then it's a finals and a 3rd place finish.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you just don't have to think too much, You have to try to work. I think even now the States, they have, of course, amazing players, but I think on these tournaments, it's not about the players. It's about how able you are to put all this in a team. You have to be strong as a team. Of course, you need these individual qualities. For example, I don't know, Argentina with Leo is something different. You need these guys, of course, but you have to be strong together. And these tournaments, I think this is the most important part, that you have to have a coach, a staff, where they are really able to understand the role of every player, and to put this in one. They have to be one together, And with this amazing atmosphere you will have for sure in the States for the World Cup, there will be many surprises for sure. And why not? I think you have to go step by step. We also started this first game against Nigeria to say, let's win the first game. This is really important. Let's get in the tournament. And finally, we get on the last game. So you have to move forward step by step, take this good atmosphere and push all together in one direction.
Ivan, what's the state right now of Croatian football? Obviously, we see the national team and we see what they do, and those results are easy. But what's the state? We've seen Dinamo Zagreb have a little bit of success. We've seen Rijeka over the last couple of years have some European football. But what does it look like in Croatia now? Or did we just drop them?
I think we just lost Ivan, and Chuck's on mute right now, so it's all working.
He said, I don't want to hear that right now.
He didn't want to answer that question. It's too tough of a question, Big Coach.
No,
I was sorry. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad you're back there. Just asking, just the state of Croatian football right now, because we're in a place in Major League Soccer where we're growing our league, trying to get notoriety around the world, develop players. The national team picture is always easy to see, right? Because you see the results. But you're in it deep right now. What's the general state of Croatian football?
I get surprised because, as you know, I'm born in Switzerland. I did my first steps in my whole career out of Croatia, and when I get when I sign my contract in Hajduk Split, of course you can have a lot of information from outside, but when you're really inside, then you can really know what is the quality, how they use the work in daily work. This is really important, and I get really surprised. There are many interested players. The football in the Croatian league is really high. So we have one guy from the States, Rokas Pukstas. Hopefully he will get to the national team. And yeah, it's a big quality, of course. What happened, or what is the difference between the national team and the Croatian league? That every year you have maybe two or three guys with a lot of talent, and they are going out really fast. So they try to do directly the next step to Germany, to Italy, to Spain. They go out of Croatia, so it's difficult that the league can still grow up. So it's how it is. There's a lot of work. There are big talented young guys, and we need to push. We need to push. I have to push Rokas, hopefully, until the national team, and then yeah, I think there's a big future in the Croatian league.
Ivan, I think it's important because you bring up Rokas and the younger generation. It's a new generation. Because back when we were playing, right, it was don't give me anything about mentally fatigued or exhausted. Whereas this new generation, they're built different. So was there a moment you can point back to that you played through, fatigue and injury, because it's a massive game? And how did you navigate some of those moments? And now you fast forward to the position you're in now. How do you navigate communicating that to your current players?
That's a good question. That's why I don't like when the guys now are telling that they get tired. There are too many games in this World Cup season. 2018, I did 72 official games, but it's what I wanted. I want to be in every game ready. I want to play all games. So if maybe the coaches put me out for 5 or 10 games, I will be angry. So finally, it's how to understand the player. I take 10 more players in the squad. Sometimes I change the team, and then they are angry. So I think there we have to be really clear. And this was my opinion. I want to play. I want to play every 3 4 days. Let's play. I don't want to go to the stadium to have some training session or to go to the gym, or I don't know. No, let's play. Let's play. And that's why I think we have to understand that we also football reached so a high level from everywhere. So we are expecting so much from football. That's normal. We want to have like a show. We want to have these big games. We want to have big tournaments, something different. That's why I have to congratulate the FIFA and also the states for the organization for the Club World Cup. This is amazing. This is amazing. Hopefully, we'll have more tournaments like this because me as a player, I want to play all the time. So of course, you need sometimes some days rest. But believe me, if you have a short break, sometimes it's better because after a month to get back again to train really hard to be ready, it's not easy. That's why let's move until you can. Hopefully, you can take it like, for example, Luka Modric until 40 years. But if not, it will be 35 or 37. Don't care. And enjoy every moment. Don't think about too much games. We have to travel. Yeah, you have to travel. If not, you can stay at home if you want. So that's no problem.
So Ivan only likes 2-week break. That's it. 2 weeks.
I love it.
You're good.
We move
And
forward.
one
We move
training,
forward.
one
After
training
that,
between the games.
no, just let's play.
I got plenty of time for this mentality. I feel like we should be best friends. I really like what you're saying here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your past, because you grew up in Switzerland. So you played for the Swiss youth national teams, and we have some dual nationals here with the U.S. So some key players, Anthony Robinson, who plays at Fulham at the left back position, Serginho Dest, who plays for us on the right side, Fuller and Balogun, most arguably going to be our starting number 9 in the World Cup next summer. All dual nationals. And so you went from Switzerland, and then Slaven Bilic gave you the call and said, hey, why don't you play for Croatia? How hard was that decision? Was it an easy one? Do your the Swiss part of your family give you a hard time that you didn't play for Switzerland instead of Croatia?
No, it's really not easy. It's really not easy, and I would like that no other young player have to take this decision or to get in this situation, because it's really not easy. It's not easy. It's not to say I want to decide for one side or for the other, or it's favor for to one country and against the other. No, it's not like this, and it was really hard. And hopefully that all this new generation and young players that will come out, hopefully they can decide, yeah, as soon as possible, you know, or I don't know, or maybe the FIFA have to put, I don't know, something to say, I don't know, with 15, 16 years, you have to decide. I don't know. It's not easy. It was really a hard time for me, but it was never a decision against Switzerland. It was just that maybe Slaven, he was really good. That's why I say he was a big, big, big mental coach and an amazing, amazing coach. And he did it possible to feel to have this feeling to play for the Croatian national team, something more special for me than do it for Switzerland. Even I was so proud in every game I did with the Swiss national team, but there was the moment where I had to decide, and there was really that one really important for me. But it's not a nice moment or a special moment. When you asked me the first question, the special good
Right.
moments during my career, this one was really hard.
It sounds like
Did you ever think when you made the decision, okay, I'm here and I'm going to play over 100 games with the national team. I'm going to play with some of the best players in the world. I'm going to get to a World Cup final, or was it just on that day you had to make a decision and whatever happens from there happens? I mean, could you have dreamed that it was going to turn out the way that it did?
I think I don't like to think too much, you know, or too much in front. I try to enjoy the moment. So I decided to play for Croatia, and I was waiting like a young kid at home until this first game was coming, you know. And from this first game, just going one by one, going one by one. Of course, I'm really happy and proud, and probably it could be much more than 106 games. But yeah, sometimes also during a career you have to decide when to stop or when to do a step on the side, you know. But yeah, I think these players, they have to enjoy it, like really moving step by step. Don't think too much. Try to enjoy, push in every training session, push, go on in every game, and try to be happy. I think yeah, we are it's a privilege to play football every day, you know. So you have to be happy, you have to enjoy, and then everything will be, I think, much easier.
You know, Ivan, I look at people's careers and I say, man, they've really had to fight through some difficult low moments. You don't have too many low moments. Now, I mean,
he just talked about one. He just
no, that's it's picking a country. That's not a low moment.
Okay,
Come on,
fine.
jeez.
No,
It was a
Yes.
challenge,
Not
a personal challenge. Though.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm curious now. Croatian midfield, Barcelona midfield. We're talking about the two highest moments for you within those midfield. How did you break into both? I mean, playing next to Luka Modric, playing next to Busquets. What were those moments like when you finally broke through, and how did you continue to stay consistent?
you think there was one situation when I signed for Barcelona. In the midfield was Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets.
Oh man,
Not bad, not so bad.
Not bad.
And then I was catching up with some friends, and they told me, "But why you sign for Barca? It will be difficult to play and everything." I say, "I don't care, and I don't want to get to Barca to say I have to. I don't know. I don't know. Iniesta have to go out, or Xavi have to go out, or you have to play that way." I just told them, I will sign for Barca, and I will try to be Ivan Rakitic. And if I can try to improve these amazing guys like this, it's enough. But I want to be myself. I don't have to be a copy of Xavi, a copy of Andres, because it's impossible. These guys are one of one. Is this limited edition, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't have to fight on that way. But maybe I can give to the team other things where they maybe don't care so much. So this was my opinion. Of course, my football in Sevilla was much different than the football I did or I had to do in Barcelona. Because in Sevilla it was like this: if you don't know what to do, give the ball to Ivan. In Barcelona, not. In Barcelona, there are around 20 guys. All of them could be the most important players in all the other teams in La Liga, you know? So I had to understand that I don't want to have a mental fight with that. I just try to be myself and to enjoy. Your question before was when you start in the national team, what you was expecting, or that's why what I was expecting from Barcelona, just to enjoy
Yeah.
every day, enjoy to be in the training session with these guys, and I know to be with the best guys, I will improve my my skills too, so my possibilities, and this was important for me.
Did your perception change of any of the players? Because you're playing against them with Sevilla, you know it's competitive. You had some good moments against Barca. Now you play for them. Did you see something maybe in training that you thought, oh, I didn't know that this player had this much quality, or did somebody surprise you?
No, not something. It's totally different. When you go to Barca, when I leave Barca after 6 seasons and I get back to Sevilla, the first thing I told to my agent after 5 days, uh, this is not football. This is something different here in Sevilla. You know, it's totally different. This daily work, this I don't know, this understanding how I have to play. So I don't know. In Barcelona, they told me, for example, you have to run the right way. I come to Sevilla, I say, no, right, no, left. You know? So you have to understand that Barca, and I think especially in the era of Leo, was really, really different and yeah, I think amazing. I think we all of us, we have to be proud that we could play in the same time with him or against him, because he did, I think, football different. And it was really clear that the understanding of football, what I had before Barca and after Barca, was completely different.
Yeah, sounds like it blew your mind. It would blow my mind as well. I mean, just being on the field with some of those guys must have been incredible. All right, we're going to take our first break and call it what you want. When we come back, we're going to have more time with Ivan Rakitic, so don't go anywhere.
The clock never stops. Relive the greatest moments with uninterrupted highlights and more.
It's Gareth Bale! Ronaldo! Wonderful goal!
On the UEFA Champions League channel. Streaming free.
All right, welcome back in to Call It What You Want. I'm Jimmy Conrad alongside Charlie Davies, Tony Miola, and a new co-host of the show, Ivan Rakitic. Ivan, thanks for hanging out with us today. All right, so during your time with Schalke, you got to cross over with an American who played for our national team, Jermaine Jones. You guys were good. You got into the quarterfinals, I believe, of the Champions League. I mean, you had a really, really good team. What was that experience like? What was it like playing with JJ? Because he is an absolute animal out on the field, and we need to get some inside scoops, some stories on JJ if you got some.
I really like to see these amazing pictures. JJ, yeah, he's an amazing guy. I think this is a guy that all the teams we would like to have in our team, you know. So not only what he can do on the pitch, also out of the pitch. He was really important in the dressing room. Yeah, a happy guy. You know, he did so much day by day for us, and then on the pitch he was crazy. This guy, he could run 2 days without stop. He was amazing. In my way, he told me all the time, "You go, I will cover you. You go, I will cover you." So it was amazing. I really enjoyed a lot. Just some days ago, I had some contact with him. I know that he's now in Germany trying with his coaching license, and this is the best part of football. Finally, you can imagine it was around 18 or 17 years ago, and we are still in contact.
Crazy, yeah.
This is really amazing, and these are the moments where you get really friends for the whole life. And I know that, and also JJ, he knows if he needs something, he can call me in every moment, and that's why football and sport is amazing.
He just texted me right now. He said, "Hey, tell my friend what's up."
We had him on. We had him on about a month ago, right? And it was great to catch up with him and get his stories as well. So I'm thinking, what's the way you played? What was the best pairing, like type of player Was it the guy that you said, like Jermaine, I'm going to let that guy do all the work, and then without the ball, I'm going to do all the like? What was the best type of player for you to play with in the midfield?
I think the best part is, or for me, are the guys. Of course, all of them are in a special way important and necessary for a team. But if I have to choose, I like the guys that can be on both parts, in defense and also in attack. So I like these guys, as we say, like box to box. They have this quality to give this last pass, to score a goal, to take this last pass. But also they are able to get back, to have I don't know, a nice tackling, to take the ball, to don't think so much what does maybe he could do in front of the opponent's goal. So these are the guys where I really say this is my favorite play, because like this he's everywhere, and I like these guys when he likes to touch the ball, but he have no problems to get in strong fights like this. So this is my perfect midfielder.
Ivan, what's also incredible about you is that you can speak 6 languages. That is wild to me. I know, in Switzerland you're kind of friends of the world, but six different languages. Damn.
Yeah. Charlie struggles with one language.
With one, you have to start.
Yeah. So I'm curious if you had advice for this current U.S. men's national team. What would it be for them to, they didn't qualify in 2018. 2022, it's a young group, one of the youngest national teams at the World Cup. They get out of the group, they lose to the Netherlands, but here they are, World Cup on home soil. What's the most important advice for this group? Obviously, Mauricio Pochettino is still trying to figure things out. He's only had 1 full year with this team. How do you think they have the best chance of advancing at this World Cup?
They got to win the first game. I'm going to answer it, Ivan. They got to win that first game. No, go ahead.
They have to. But I think the most important part, and it's quite easy, no pressure. No pressure to the guys, no pressure to the coach. An amazing coach, one of the best coaches in the world. So no pressure. I think we have to give them time. I think the pressure is already there because everybody expects a lot. But they have to feel free. They have a lot of amazing players. As I told, crazy big coach. So now just to give them time to prepare well. I think the atmosphere will be crazy. Hopefully it will be the best World Cup in history. And probably it will. So I think they have to just to feel free, to try to enjoy football. Nothing else, because they are really talented guys. They really know what they have to do, and I'm sure that the coach will have an amazing team. They will explain them everything they need to know. So the rest, and to call Rokas Pukstas to the national team. This is really
okay.
important.
Let's go, Rokas. Let's go, Rokas.
So all this, but yeah, I think this is the most important part, because the pressure will be already there. Let's go on. They have to feel free, and the rest, I think, is quite easy, and they will be on top for sure.
Okay, so Ivan, I have 2 photos to show you. The first one is me. I was at the 2012 Euros in Poznan, and I was drunk with Croatian fans. So I just wanted to show you that. Yeah, you guys played. Listen, I had just retired from playing myself, and this was my first kind of big moment in the media. And at that point, I was working with YouTube, and they're like, "Why don't you go get drunk with fans?" And I was like, Croatian fans seem like they have a good time. Let's go hang out with Croatian time.
You look absolutely.
I am wasted.
Gone.
Hey, it was a 1-1 game. It was you and Pirlo in the middle of midfield. It was a great game, and I was excited to be there. From what I remember, all things considered, they got to throw that in there. Now the second photo we have is from the 2015 Champions League final, and there's 5 of your teammates, and they all play in Miami right now for Inter Miami and MLS. Did you ever have the inclination to join Leo and everybody else in Miami? Was that ever an option for you?
No, because I never was thinking about too much about that, but nothing especially. Also, I never get a call from David Beckham.
Come on, Bex.
Come on, Beck.
How did I give Rakitic a call?
I know, it's unbelievable. We're gonna let him know.
No, I think it's amazing to see all these guys again together, and I think they are doing amazing in Miami. I think it's really important for the MLS that they are there, and for Miami, and also for all the other teams, because of course, if you have in front of you all these guys and you can learn with them and grow up, I think it's really important. But my way was a bit different, and yeah, it's how it is. But I'm really happy that they are so enjoying in Miami.
Ivan, talk a little bit about your new job now, right? Technical director. You know what? I found this out when I went into coaching, right? I always used to worry about myself only and taking care of myself. Now I got to worry about the big picture, right? You're now running a club. Talk about that switch. And was this something you always thought you were going to do, or something maybe that you got talked into doing along the way?
Um, I have to be clear. I think some weeks ago or some months ago, I think around March, I was starting thinking about maybe to stop playing football, to retire, and then I was thinking I'd catch up some days with my wife to say what does we gonna do, or where they really want to live. This was important for me. I think during my whole career, I decided we have to move here, we have to go there. So I think that was the moment also to explain, or to listen to my wife and to my daughters. I have two daughters. What they will really like to do. I just told them I will start studying now the MIP, the sports management with the UEFA, just to improve a bit my skills and to learn a bit more about what happened behind the pitch. And then it was, of course, the idea I have to do something. I want to do something. And there I get this possibility from the president of Hajduk to be the new technical director, to be really close to the sports director, and like to be between the sports director and the coach and first team. And of course, it's quite different because now it's a lot of longer days, many meetings, the phone all the time with the phone. But it's interesting. It's interesting because you get a lot of information really where you as a player really don't care, or you don't have to care about that, but you totally don't know what happened behind the scenes. And now to see all this, it's really interesting. That's why I decided to study the MIT, just to improve a bit all the skills I need to know, and hopefully in one day to be ready to get my own project, and to be ready hopefully to give a lot back to football.
Hey, Hajduk Split was after me back when I was playing in Sweden, my early days. I almost went, but I decided to go to Liga in France.
That's a good, but as I have to let you know, you're all invited to come to Hajduk, to Croatia, to Split. Please.
Oh yeah.
Let's
So
do it.
hopefully
I'm
the next one we can do directly here from Split together.
That'd be amazing.
Hey,
That'd be amazing.
I'm in.
I'm in
I'll
as
tell you
well.
that right now. Ivan, I'm curious. Luka Modric goes to Milan. He's 40 years old. He's going to be playing with Christian Pulisic. How do you think Luka can help Christian? What do you think of Christian at the moment? And just what type of leader is Luka? You've played with him for so long. Are you so surprised that he's still able to play at this level given his age?
I think first of all, Pulisic, you have to learn a bit more Croatian. This is the first step. And then I think there are some players during your career, as possibly it is Luka. They are different, but why they are different? Because they are able to get the control of a team or of some guys to give them something special, where they really can improve their game. And Luka is like this, because Luka will be like this with him, but also with all the other guys. And I think there will be the best part for Pulisic to enjoy this time he will have with Luka on the pitch, because after that because the time is flying. Time is passing so fast. I think you have to try to learn from Luka, but not only on the pitch, and during the training sessions, when they are on the way, how he will speak with the PR. All these parts are important. This was maybe something similar when I was with Xavi in the team in Barca. I tried to learn from this guy, but doing everything, you know. And this is where he can really say maybe in 10 or 15 years, this year or 2 years, I don't know how long he will stay in Milan, was amazing because there you can really learn many things, what it is really to be a player on the highest level.
All right, so we're gonna play a little game here. I don't know how familiar you are with Mount Rushmore, Ivan, but it's basically 4 of the greatest presidents that we have here. Somebody went out of their way to chisel their faces up on a mountain. Pretty cool, all things considered. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of players you played with? So who are the best players that you played with throughout your career?
The 4 best.
The 4 best.
Good luck, Ivan.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. First of all, I have to say Leo.
Okay.
So one out. Maybe my favorite player it is Neymar.
Ooh, interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. Before you move on, why was he your favorite player? What was he doing that made him special?
Because he was amazing. This was dancing, enjoying football. And I'm sure that, and he knows it because I told him already just some months ago again, the baddest decision a player could do during his career, he did it, leaving Barca. Because staying in Barca, we will win for sure much more Champions League titles, for example. But he also, and I'm sure that he was able to win many big, amazing balls next to Leo. But he was amazing. He was, and I is just enjoying football. This guy, all the time in my team for sure.
Okay, that's 2. You got 2 more spots. 2 more spots.
For sure, Luka Modric.
Okay. Nice.
Because he's like my old brother in football. And now the last one I want to give to someone really special. Because he's really something special for me, but he's now not anymore with us, Jose Antonio Reyes.
Okay.
Because this guy, he was maybe the most talented guy I played with. He could do everything, but as the life, sometimes it's really hard. He passed away. He had a big accident some years ago, and but this guy was really amazing, and he have to be there on the ball for me.
I love it.
That's incredible.
Wow, incredible.
All right, so love that Mount Rushmore. That's a good one. And now we have a tradition here, Ivan. We always ask all of our guests, and you've elevated our guests, by the way, with all due respect to everybody else, because it's everything you've accomplished. So we have, what's your best jersey swap? I don't know if you change jerseys with players.
Yes.
I mean, based on who you played with, you might just want to switch with your teammates. But who did you switch with during your career? What was your favorite jersey swap?
A special one, what really was or is really important for me. I have a special place at home because I'm not just creating a special museum at my home in Sevilla. It's the shirt of Zlatan.
Ooh.
When we play against him in the Champions League with Barca, and I all the time I have to say to my friends, I'm really thankful to my career and everything, but I missed 2 things. First thing is to play in Italy. I would like to play in Serie A. I couldn't do it. It was many times really close, but I was never in Italy. And the other one is I had to play with Zlatan, and I never played with Zlatan.
Yeah.
Why did you want to play with Zlatan so much?
Special player.
I think he's something special for us players. I think that the way he's going on as a lion, he say, and he's clear that for himself he's the best, he's the number one, and I think that you can improve so many things, so many skills, being next to him day by day. That's why I really love Zlatan. That's why this shirt had a special place in my home.
I love that.
Yeah, that is cool. That is
unreal.
Cool. That's a good one.
Top.
Yeah, I mean, getting to Zlatan game worn is that's up there. That's top of the list.
I got one.
Somebody's Mount Rushmore, to be honest. Yeah.
And I got one too.
You got a Zlatan as well, Chuck?
Yeah, in Sweden when we played them in Gothenburg.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Big
It's a good
Tones
one.
left out of this one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
This one is a good one.
Well, Ivan, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Absolutely,
hey,
what
you
a
guys got
beast.
some top jerseys too. Like Tony, he played with Lev Yashin. And these guys, they were playing with.
Yeah.
You have one from Beckenbauer, Jimmy?
Okay. Well, I wish I played against Beckenbauer. That would have been amazing. I would have definitely.
But you have to come. You have to come to Croatia, and you will have the shirt of Hajduk.
Yes,
I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that.
I'm in.
Ivan Rakitic, everybody. Thank you so much for
Thank you
hanging
so
out with
much.
us.
Thank you, Ivan.
Congratulations on a
Thank
great
you.
career, continued success with Hajduk Split, and hopefully we'll come out and see you very, very soon. Ivan Rakitic. All right, we're going to take our last break of Call What You Want. When we come back, we're going to hear from Mauricio Pochettino. Yeah, don't go anywhere.
You can't count on Derek's tongue
Oh,
skills,
Tony, I think it hit the ground.
but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
I don't care about the criticize. I prefer that the people criticize me but don't touch the player. And I hope in the future criticize me, but let the player to play free and go and to perform. And it's not a problem for me. I think if that happens, it's because for sure it's good signal. No? Because it's not easy to be sitting here. If we are sitting here, it's because I think something previous we did, no? And we deserve to be here.
All right, those are the words, if you're listening to this, of Mauricio Pochettino at a press conference following the Japan game. The U.S. won 2-0. He wants all the heat, Big Tones. He wants all the smoke. And I agree with him. You want to make sure that the players play as free as possible. So, and even Ivan talked about it, where and Chuck, that was a great question. What should the players think about, and what should the team be thinking about going into the World Cup and playing free, is very aligned with what Mauricio Pochettino is saying here. He wants all that smoke, though, and he wants all the criticism focused on him. Your thoughts on these comments, Big Tones?
Yeah, I mean, he's the manager. He should. It's what your job is, right? You take all the heat. And I used to say that story about Bruce on Bruce Arena all the time. He used to say, you know what, you guys, this is how I want to do it, and do it this way. And whatever happens, I'm going to take all the heat. I'm going to take all the pressure off of you guys. That doesn't mean that you can't evaluate how players do. But I like the fact he says, you give him the heat. I don't know that it should be a directive to people.
Yeah, right.
In the end, this is how you report on things. But I understand what he's saying, and good for him. And take the responsibility because, and I think he mentioned in that, I think he was alluding to the fact we're sitting here because of things of the past, saying, I have the experience to be sitting up here, to be coaching these players. And that's kind of what he was getting at. But I mean, no revelation in his statement for sure. But I still think we're all going to watch a game, and it doesn't matter if you work here on Call It What You Want, or you're sitting on your couch as just a fan. You're going to evaluate players and what they do and how they approach the game, and how his game, how he approaches the game. So, but yeah, I mean, okay, well, I guess everyone will criticize you if that's what you want, but I don't think that's the point here.
Yeah, trust the process, bro. Right, Chuck? That's pretty much what we're hearing from Mauricio Pochettino over the last week.
Well, I like the fact that he's taking accountability, because if it doesn't look right, yeah, because we've been saying, hey, tactics, formations, urgency, let's see that. There's got to be a healthy balance. All the blame can't go to the players. All the blame can't go to the coach. It lies somewhere in between. But I think what we were saying along the way is, if you want to experiment, show me experimentation. Don't throw in 1,000 players.
Right.
How about take the best group of players, a core? Maybe you're sprinkling in some new faces, but give me different formations. High line. Are we sitting back? We playing counter? Are we a mid-block team? Are we a possession team? All right, we're going to try these different things, and we can see it. We can, and then you're saying, okay, this is where Pochettino's trying to find what's the best mix for this group. What's the best way forward? We finally saw that against Japan, because he was, in a way, forced to try something new, because everything he had tried wasn't working. So now we're on to something. We've taken a step forward. Now we go into next window. We got a month. Things can change. guys are supposed to come back in, no more experimentation. But then we got Ecuador, who's coming in hot. They just beat Argentina World Cup qualifier. This is a team that's in form. They have great players. And then we have an Australia side who plays with a back three as well. So now you're going to be tested in terms of if this is what Pochettino continues to stick with. How does that look against an Australian side that's probably going to try and play the same way? I think it's another super important. Every window is super important, but given the progress, do we continue to make progress? Is there consistency now, or does he scrap it all and go back to a 4-2-3-1 with his strongest group? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, I'm curious as well as to what he does with a formation that seems like it unlocked the team a little bit. And the reason we've been clamoring for it for so long, Big Tones, is the fact that when you put Dest on the right and Jedi Robinson on the left, you have two of the better attacking wingbacks in the region for sure. And then obviously Jedi has proven that he's one of the best fullbacks, as they call it, in England. And then if he's doing it in England, he has to be considered one of the top 5, let's say, in the world, right? And then you have Dest, who on his day can absolutely dice you up going forward. So if you could take away some of the defensive responsibility from both of those guys, and because they're equally dangerous, and I actually like that Jedi Robinson has added this extra layer to his game where I think he hits better deep crosses now. He's a little bit more consistent where he doesn't need to get into an end line to whip the ball in. He can hit him from deeper, which I think makes him even more dangerous. Now you've got a little bit of this dynamic and unpredictability to our attack because we can hurt you from both sides. If we were overloaded on one side, and let's just say it was just Jedi or just Dest, then we become a little bit more predictable, maybe more heavy on one side or the other. But if you could actually take the handcuffs off these guys and let them go because you're adding that third center back in, I just feel like it will continue to unlock our team in a meaningful way. Again, though, the big question is, who are those center backs? We haven't identified those. And now that almost becomes, if we do stick with this formation, that becomes probably the most pivotal question for us moving forward is who are going to be our 3 center backs that are going to actually help us push forward and allow us to continue to take that even next step in our progression.
Yeah, I said the other night, I think we have the 2 most important pieces, and now we actually have a little bit of depth, and that's wingbacks. When you want to play this way, you have to have guys that are cutting that mold. You mentioned Dest and Anthony Robinson. Now we got a little sniff of what it looks like with Freeman on the right-hand side. Arston looked a little bit better, and I will throw in, we know that Timothy Weah can do that too if we ask him to do it. So
right.
I think they have the qualities to play in those positions. I still, for me, it's easy to go from 2 center backs to 3 center backs. As a goalkeeper, I mean, Jimmy, one of my biggest strengths, especially towards the last 5 years of my career, was organizing defenses. And I tried to learn it when I was young because I said to myself, well, the more I organize, the less I got to do, in the end, like the less
exactly.
work I got to do in the end. Yeah. And as you get older, that becomes more important. And I think that's why I stuck around for a while, because coaches felt like, okay, we can kind of hand the keys over and we know that they're going to get organized. But you give me 3 center backs instead of 2, it becomes that much easier. And as you mentioned, there's cover, there's balance, there's different ways you can shift and do all that. But we got the most important thing. I think the fear, Charlie, I think the fear is 2 things, Chuck, over the years to going with 3. When you go with 3 in the back, that 3-man midfield becomes a 2-man midfield, right? And it was like, who is going to be left out all the time? And then there's always the decision of, do you play with 2 forwards or do you play with 1 forward? Right. And that's always the decision with those. I think the back part of it's the easy part. It's what happens ahead. That's probably why it took managers a while to look at this particular group and go, okay, we're going to change to this. I mean, it's a guess, but I think it's a logical sort of progression.
Yeah, Tony, because if you look at our team, it's the midfield. That's the strongest part of this group, the deepest part of this
exactly.
group. And now all of a sudden you're going to say, instead of 3, when we probably have 5 or 6 options, we're going to go 2. And who are those 2 that complement each other well? Because it doesn't necessarily mean we're playing the 2 best players, but they don't play well together or they do the same thing. So it's interesting that finally you say, okay, we're going to use the width with our wing backs. Great, because they can get up and down, They're comfortable on the ball. Anthony Robinson is a captain in the Premier League, among the best left backs in the world. And then you got Serginho Dest, who does it in the Champions League, who's one of the best dribblers at right back in the world, creating. So you're saying, okay, we can live with that. But now, how do we defend in transition? How do we get the most in the attack where we're not just looking for the counterattack every time to get into space? So I think that's the balance, and it's on Pochettino to solve that.
Yeah, I think one of the conversations I've been having off camera with some of my pals on the group chat is, okay, if you decide to take one of our midfielders out, right, to have the 3 center backs, then you're sacrificing, to your point, a possibility to have somebody that's very dynamic in that area of the field. My counter to that is, well, now you're actually allowing Dest and Jedi to get forward in a meaningful way, and in a way where our spacing could be a lot better to open up the area of that central part of the field for our other 4 players that'll be in that box midfield, the 6s and the 10s, which I thought looked good. I thought our spacing through midfield looked good. And yes, maybe Christian has to drop a little bit deeper to come get it. And that's something we want to be wary of, because we want him as close to the goal as possible, not 50 yards away. So obviously some things to work through, but I thought it was a promising next step in how this formation could be beneficial going forward. Go ahead.
I got a question for you, Jimmy.
Yes.
In a back 3, though, do you think Ream is best positioned to be the left center back in a back 3 or the center back in the back 3, given if you're playing in the outside, you are now tasked with getting wide if an outside or a wing back is exposed.
Yeah.
He's more protected centrally because he's got
Yes.
2 center backs to the left or right of him. So you're not worried so much about him going laterally as you are him just going 3 steps back, 4 steps back, 5 steps back. And if we're playing a little bit deeper, which I think we're going to have to if we're talking about playing in some of the best teams in the world, he's that much more comfortable in that role.
That's a great question. Athletically, you want to put him centrally, just for the reasons you mentioned, right? You get to protect him a little bit. He doesn't have to cover as much ground, and he can read the game. Excellent reader of the game, high IQ for the game. So putting him in the middle, obviously most experienced, he could organize everybody as well. All beneficial. Where I would say you want to have a conversation is, he's our best passer by far. So if you're going to have build-out situations and in the middle, he doesn't touch it as much.
I don't know. I don't know if it's by far anymore, by the way.
Okay.
He was not good with the ball the other night.
That's fair.
Right?
You're right. He was
Two
okay.
games,
Maybe we need to put him in the middle to make it. But
and Chris Richards, you're making him better centrally, because although he can cover ground more than Ream, that's not his strength either. He's not a Virgil van Dijk that can sprint and catch anybody. So what I liked about the Gold Cup, though, Jimmy, is with Chris Richards, he was playing those balls in between lines.
Yeah,
and I know it's the Gold Cup. We're not playing in Copa America or playing in a World Cup, but he showed progress to me of getting forward and skipping lines, finding guys in pockets. So that's my only thing.
Yeah.
To you.
No. These are great points, great counters to what I was saying. Historically, Tim Ream's been a good passer of the ball, and he can hit the big switch. What I'll say is, when I played with the national team, more often than not, I played the left center back position as a right footer. And it's very hard to hit the blind switch, because if I'm going to hit it, not to say I couldn't hit it with my left, but more often than not, I would take that step back and open up my body so you knew I was hitting it with my right foot. It's a lot harder to be deceptive that way in hitting that switch. When Matt Beasler joined the team, right, you have a left footer and a left center back position, and he could hit that switch, and it made it easier, or gave the player that's going to receive the switch maybe a half second, a second, 2 seconds more time on the ball, which is, as we know, very important. Tim Ream having a left-sided player on that position, putting him on the left side. But ultimately, if we're thinking about who we're going to be playing against, we want to protect and have probably our best athletes on either side of what's arguably maybe our slower player in the middle. But yeah, I mean, in terms of how we want to build out, even if I don't even know if we're going to try to build out. You know, if we're playing a back 3, how are we going to do that, and what does it look like? Everybody's going to have to be pretty good at passing the ball overall.
In general, I'm just curious, because every coach would look at this a different way. I would tell you how I would look at the 3 in the back. You mentioned changing Chris Richards. For me, Chris Richards is the best center back we have right now, right? Mm-hmm. So I put Chris Richards in whatever I think the best place for him to be is. because
Yeah.
right. So if I think it's the middle, I don't move him to the right and I don't move him to the left to accommodate anybody, because now what I'm doing already is I'm taking my best guy with his best quality and I'm substituting that to make up for someone else. I'd rather keep the best guy in whatever I think is the best spot and then build around that. I got to find pieces that complement him in doing that. And some managers will say, no, I'm weak over here, so I'm going to take my best guy and move him over here. But for me, I always look at now making two changes, right?
Yeah.
I'm making two to, without even thinking about it, instead of just making one change.
I do want to say that if Tim Ream is really going to be one of our number one options in the back line, he already has a built-in rapport over many years with Jedi Robinson. And so if you have them playing next to each other like they had at Fulham for many years, that is a nice relationship. We talk about, if we're playing FIFA and you have that connective, ultimate team, you want to have the green connective, right? Because they just have that history. So that would be something I would throw into the equation as well. It's just that understanding, that nonverbal understanding of what kind of decisions your teammate's going to make that's next to you in high pressure situations. And they have many years of that. And I think that will have some value as well. But I agree with you, Big Tones. And I think that's what the back three, again, the game against Japan showed us, is that if you put players in their best spots, then all of a sudden they start to shine. Freeman looked better, right? Arsene looked better when they're playing in their more natural positions and positions that they feel more comfortable in. So yeah, more of that, please, ultimately, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. All right. So last thing that we want to talk about before we let everybody go, and dude, cannot believe we had Ivan Rakitic on the show. What an absolute beast. That was super cool. And we can't now, with the open invitation to go to Croatia, I'm already looking at airline flights because that'll be a good time. I've never been to Croatia before, and I heard it's beautiful, so I'd love to go. So obviously there's a lot of heat and smoke around the relationship between Christian Pulisic and Mauricio Pochettino over this summer. And Christian said this after this week in camp: we have had good conversations. This is talking about him and Mauricio Pochettino. Honestly, probably what you guys experience, what the media sees, is a bit not exactly what we experienced. Things are good. We spoke. We had a normal camp, and everything is good between us, good between the team. There's probably not as much drama as you guys think there is. I feel like there was some drama before. Somebody came on our show and talked about the drama, and then the coach responded that he's not a mannequin. I feel like there was some drama. They had to work through some stuff, but it's nice to see that we've now pushed through it. I think that was we talked about our priority order. Number one for me was making sure that was squashed, because you have your best player and the coach being aligned moving forward, so we can just keep going on moving on. What's the next priority order? But overall, Big Tones, I'm happy this is not something we have to talk about moving forward.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, we don't have to mention it moving forward. He played him. He started him twice, so there was no like, oh, I'm going to punish you. There's none of that. And now we move forward, and hopefully we get the second half of the Japan game was more of the Christian Pulisic than we've seen for a little while, and hopefully we continue this way of playing and the way Pochettino wants him to interpret the game. We get more of that from Christian, but it seems squashed. There doesn't seem anything to it anymore.
All right,
yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on.
We've moved on. Let's just keep going. We put a good performance against Japan. Now we're on to Ecuador, as Bill Belichick would say. We're on to Ecuador.
I love the Bill Belichick. I'm thinking about Bill Belichick saying we're on to Ecuador. That actually coming out of his mouth. Sounds pretty awesome. I wonder if his girlfriend would approve of that. We don't need to get into that type of stuff. All right, we're calling it a show, everyone. That is it. As a reminder, the Champions League season kicks off next week, and match day 1, fun fact for everybody, will be available to stream for free on the Golazo network, which will be very, very cool. So
you don't say.
Join Kate and the crew as they break everything down, and then all the fun people we got hanging out on the Golazo network, which includes all 3 of us at some point in time. And then come back and join us next Tuesday here live on the Golazo America YouTube channel, 10 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Pacific. Get up early with me. And that's it. Thanks again to Ivan Rakitic for coming on the show.
Top man.
That was incredible. Thanks for getting him, Chuck, to come on the show. A lot of great insights.
Your turn.
And,
now Ted Lasso
is my
coming
turn.
on. When's Jason Sudeikis?
Yes.
When we get
the
that?
pressure. Yeah. Tony gets Christian to come on. Chuck gets Ivan Rakitic. Now it's my turn to step up and try to match them in terms of a name power. I'm going to do my best, and I'll do everything I can to get Ted Lasso and the guys to come on. All right, that's it. Calling it a show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Later.